I forgot to turn my lights on. Ha ha! Hey! Ooh, lights! 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 Camera! And then there's a third word. What's the third word? The third word is hello. Hello, hello. How is everybody at this appropriate time? Time appropriate greetings to the internet. Hello. Action? Why, certainly that's what we're going to be doing. We are going to have some action today. We are, well, I say action. It's the y-axis still. We're doing Tinkercaddy stuff because hey, that's what we all thought was a good idea, right? Right? We all agreed. We all agreed it was a good idea. We all agreed it was a good idea. So we have. Don't forget to turn stuff off. Yeah, I'm not going to forget to turn things off. So, yes. Hi. Welcome back to Thursday. Today is another day of doing stuff that involves things and stuff and things and mess that's left on my desk from the week. Yeah. We last week, blimey, I only woke up 5 minutes ago. I had an inadvertent nap, but hey, that's a Doug problem. So Tuesday, we made a good start into the things that we're doing. I believe we made a good start. I feel like we made a good start, you know? So let's I'm still working on Printer Quest swamps at the moment. Yes. That's what I should have done. I should have asked you all how you're doing. It's 4:30 or 3:30 or 9:30 or 10:30. It's a time appropriate. It's a time appropriate. Very much time appropriate. Where did that go? It was this one. And I bet it's not going to work. Oh, it worked. And you can see all of the tabs. You can see all of the tabs. Blimey. So, we made progress. We have the rod holder, the front of the faceplate, well, one type of rod holder, a second type of rod holder, which is over here, the Y idler, which is here, and the reconfigured motor holder block, which is here. So let's just rotate that into the orientation of which I think it would be printed. This way. Which gives us a very good start. That gives us an entire y-axis. So what I did after just briefly, nah, I'm feeling it too, I could use a nap. In fact, I didn't get anyone covering me for lunch today, so I made duck out and warm up some rice for myself. Do it. So for lunch, I had yesterday's pizza. That was our evening meal. And then for evening meal today, we had a Spam rice bowl, which very tasty. It was pickled cucumber, spring onion, or lightly pickled spring onion and cucumber, chopped up Spam that was then fried, and then just rice. Egg fried rice, because hey, it's delicious. Air fryer pizza, man. Yes! Yes! Reheating pizza in an air fryer. You put it on to bake instead of reheat, and then you just add like a little hint of water to the air fryer to make it steam. It's good. It works quite nicely. Which means, hello Ace, how are you? This is the start of my 9 days off. Pardon? 9 days? What are you doing with 9 whole days? Can't complain about 9 days though. I do air crisp. See that if you did crisp, then you're gonna overdo the pizza that you're reheating. Yes. A vacation. Are you going anywhere? Doing anything? Going to the lake Saturday and Sunday? Nice. That sounds good. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's that weekend for you, isn't it? It's the 4th of July weekend. That should be interesting. So, as I alluded to, I did a little bit of work offline. When I say a little bit of work offline, I added the appropriate connector holes to the model, to the rod holder, which just made it, yeah, so that we could in theory actually print this if we wanted to today, which I might do that. These 3 pieces, I may in fact say we print. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces actually. We don't necessarily need to print the, well, we could print the 11x2. Let's print these. Let's just go haywire. Let's actually print some pieces and have some fun with it. A little bit of mining off camera. Hey, I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. Viduko, hello and good day to you. Cragord, Monday heading back to the main house, got a new hot end coming in. Nice. Print it so we can see scaling. Okay. Okay. Let's do that. Let's just do it. Let's just do the chaos. Right, let's do the chaos. We need to grab Prusa Slicer. Where is Prusa Slicer? And one moment. I shouldn't be doing this live. Woo! Let's scale it to the actual window size. Fit to screen. Yes. Then platter. And then just get rid of everything that I was working on. Because, hey, why not? And then let's bring in Designing the Disaster, the first pieces. Let's split those 2 objects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pieces. Should be all right. Do I have any concerns with those? Everyone hit the like button and sub if you haven't. Cragord, I love you, dude. I love you, dude. You are absolutely fantastic. Genuinely, you are great. Right, let's rename these pieces. This is the y-axis tensioner. This is my alarm going off for no reason. Put it on that face. No, that face. There we go. This is Y-rod 1. Right, Y-rod holder 1. You can go away. Oh, I didn't merge them. Really? Really? That broke. That broke because I didn't merge those pieces. Interesting. So that's not merged in Tinkercad. Let's switch back to Tinkercad a moment. That. Let's go back to Tinkercad. Nope. This one. Yes. So back into Tinkercad. That is not actually merged. Why is that not actually merged? They should be a single object, so why are they not? Is there a difference? Bundle group or union group? What's a bundle group? Control B, Control G. But what is the difference between a bundle group and a union group? Intersect group? No. What? What? That's new. Okay, group type, just define how shapes will be combined together. There are currently bundle groups new. Keep each solid bundle groups new. Keep each solid or whole shape separate, but allow you to select them all as one. Okay. Union groups is the formally just group. Merge all solid shapes and holes together into a single shape. Solids are combined, any holes are carved away. Well, that's what I did, I think. Intersect group creates a shape from the overlapping volume. Oh. So that. Okay. Right. Ungroup. Let's do a union group for the two pieces, and then another union group to cut the holes out. And let's try bringing that back in to Prusa Slicer. Let's bring that back into Prusa Slicer. Now, where did I put my downloads folder? And Prusa Slicer, there we go, there we go. Right, drag it in. So previously it just split itself. And now it doesn't have a split option. So I guess I didn't actually join them properly. And that's all the 4 pieces that we're going to print. That is Y motor block. And that is Y rod holder 2. So how long will this take to print? If I don't forget to take out the color changes of the things that I was printing earlier, and don't forget to change it back to a 0.4 nozzle, discard the changes. Jeez. And print at 0.2 speed. We don't need 15%, we only need 10. All the things that you do and you just don't, and you just forget to change back. It's great. Are we actually going to find out how long this takes to print? Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Come on. 4 hours. 4 hours. Are you sure? Because I will pass out in 4 hours. I can guarantee you I will pass out in 4 hours. Let's think. What do we do? What do we do? Let's just, for the time being, let's get rid of this one. Or, yeah, let's get rid of this one for the time being, and the motor block. Let's just print out the white idler to make sure that we're good on that, and the smaller ones so we can check out the actual scaling if it will fit an 8mm rod, if I've got an 8mm rod to hand. Hour and 15. That's more like it. And then select the PrusABlok, which has been printing out some more base blocks, which did successfully print this time, by the way. Let me bring up the correct what am I doing? I've just confused myself. All right, select printer, PrusABlok, set ready print now, which a window popped up that you couldn't see, but there is the top-down camera that is now pointed at the Prusa Mini. So that's going to start warming up and then do its bed leveling stuff. I need to bring up which shot do I need? This one. Here we are. So we have now had some printer block successfully come off of the Prusa Mini that is going to be the PrusABlok Prusa Mini. We've had 2 rounds of successful blocks, which, here we are. These look reasonable. Printed at 0.2 layer height on the stock 0.4 nozzle, and they do snap together nicely. Let me just move it closer to the microphone so that you can hear it. Should be a nice little snap. There you go. And that is that is that. So these are 16mm cubes in PrusABlok, and it's great. There you go. Completely blown out by the lighting, but there we go. So this gives proof of life to the fact that it can, that the Prusa Mini stock configuration can print a block. And if I bring in this piece here, we will see that they should interact. Yeah, different printer, different problems. They should interact nicely with regular blocks that were printed on different printers. So take that off there, snap it on there. There we go. And there. So this proves that they're in its stock configuration, the Prusa Mini can do blocks, which we all knew that. We had no questions really as to whether that was an issue. So where is it? It picked up the booger line, the purge line off the front. That's not going to be a problem. Oh. Oh, I can't grab that. Screw it. It's part of the build now. It's staying there forever. So that's now the Prusa Mini printing out parts for the PrusABlok printer. That will take about an hour and 15, supposedly. I might bump the speed up after the first layer or two, but that's something that we can check in on in a little bit. Which, that's good. That's good. So when you said get a sense of scale, what is this what you meant? So that you could see it on the build plate itself. Yeah. Because I'm hoping this is what you meant, Gregord. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh. All right. That's what I get for being lazy. That'll teach me. All right. Yoink. Get away. Clean your build plates, folks. Could have warned me. Just print the big parts. Oh, dear, I've lost the chat. 1 second. Come on. Accidentally closed the tab. Now my monitor is broken. Hitting doesn't work for me. Outsourcing stream remember. Outsource streaming remember. Now you know what you have to fix. I just need a model of cover for one of my vapes. Just being lazy. Groups are new. Just print the big parts. All users see one part of it. Perfect news. You are likely way back on chat. Yes, because for some reason the chat didn't actually show me what was happening. So I don't know. It stopped. Right, reprint. There we go. Sheesh. Perfect. I don't know why the chat stopped. It was working and then silly Doug. Silly Doug. Like, I hadn't seen a chat message for 10 minutes and it seems like you were all shouting at me. I apologize. Need some Aquanet. Nah. It stuck perfectly fine. It was the purge line, the prime line, sorry, that knocked it out. Okay. Okay. Do you know what? I'm just gonna all of the sugary drink. All of the sugary drink. Okay. Let's bring back Tinkercad. We don't need to watch that preparing to print. I can transition back to that for the first layer in a second. Or 3. Where is Tinkercad? So we are happy with. In theory, we're happy with these 5 pieces. We've got the rods for the y-axis. We just need to grab some GigantoBlok from printables. Printables, GigantoBlok. Ah, perfect. And let's just download all of them. So GigantoBlok, I think I've described before, are the 2x scale version of PruntaBlok. So you can, as you saw with this, excuse me, you've got the base size blocks that are 60mm cubes, and the GigantoBlok which start at 32 by 32 by 32. So download those, and then we can import. We can import those into Tinkercad, or import some of those into Tinkercad, I should say. While that first layer is printing. Where did that go? How's that looking, actually? Yeah, that looks fine. That's printing fine. It was just purely the whole I didn't clean up the purge line the first time around. No silicon sock, lol. No, the Prusa Mini doesn't come with a silicon sock by default. And for some reason, my chat is not automatically refreshing. What's going on there? That's confusing the monkeys out of me. Right. Why is that not automatically refreshing for me? Let me bring it up on my phone so that I can actually keep an eye on you properly to make sure you're all behaving. Crazy. Yeah, it is a little crazy that it doesn't come with a silicon sock by default. Where is my phone stand? There is my phone stand. There we go. I can see you better now. Yeah, layer 2. No issues with layer 2. Yeah, that's going down fine. And I think I do want to make it a Revo. I do want to give it Revo. I have a bias towards Revo. I just like them, even though I have now had one incident of a Revo nozzle paying the price for me not paying attention. Yeah. All right. We'll check back in on that in 20 minutes. Let's come back to Tinkercad. And Tinkercad that didn't actually load. Good job. There. So I was importing some Gigantoblock. 1x4. Import that. Did I call the 1x? Oh, it's a 1x3. Import. Revo maxing, yes. 1x3. And then the next one. Base block. And then 1x4. And the Gigantoblock half block, short block, as it's called in this pack for some reason. Nope, I clicked cancel. And the Tetra blocks, because the Tetra blocks are going to be useful for getting the Z-axis. Tetra block L, I believe it's this one. Revo maxing. What? I'm trying to work out what you mean by Revo maxing. You're using phrasing that I don't understand, Ace. Is it just like getting the maximum amount of Revos that I can? Is that what you mean by that? So that's all the Gigantoblock. So my thoughts here are, we need the L to start going up. We need the 1x4 to start taking up space. So let's make a rough estimate. Whoop, wrong way. If this conveniently fits, no, it won't. Of course, it won't. That would have been funny if it did conveniently have the right sized gap. This and then this. No. Yeah. So there's a gap there that I don't know the size of off the top of our head. And then we've got this over here that needs to be roughly in the middle. Is it roughly in the middle? Let's open up the stock model of the model of the stock Prusa Mini. How far back is it? It's about, I don't know how far that is. How far is that? What, 2/3? 1/3? I could measure it. Why'd you have to be sensible and tell me to measure it? Oh, has Edge just crashed? No, it hasn't. Okay, good. All right. Floor, there. Prusa Mini, number 2, here. Let's find a way to measure how far that is from the back. We need the ruler. Oh. Why, ruler? Where are you? This is the thing that I don't like about the ruler in Tinkercad. I cannot, for the life of me, work out why I can't just measure from point to point easily. Because that ruler's vanished. Like, it's given me dimensions of the model as a whole, but there's no lines for me to look at. I'm here just scrolling through the 3DJ website. Are you trying to get me to do a call to action? You know, to say a call to action like, go to the click the link in the description. It does happen to be an affiliate link, so if you did buy stuff, I'd get a small kickback of any 3D printing supplies that you might need. 3D Jake, go check them out. Is that what you're trying to get me to do, Cragord? Oh. Because if it isn't, well, I just did. Right, you know what? You know what? I'm going to do this. I am going to shoop 117-ish. No, but it works. What, by telling you to go to the link in the description below and check out 3D Jake? This is sponsored by affiliate links. Yes! There is an affiliate link, and I would class that as a sponsorship. This is also sponsored by Prusa having given me the Prusa Mini to make this project in the first place. That is disclosed. I believe I've disclosed that many times. Prusa did throw the Prusa Mini at me for some reason. I made a suggestion and they went for it. It's also sponsored by you guys if you hit the subscribe button and like. So roughly 117. Which 117... 117 divided by 16 is 7.3. So let's just do 7 blocks. YouTube technically says it is paid promotion instead of a sponsorship. Weird. Is it paid promotion for them having given me the Prusa Mini? Is that paid promotion? I guess legally it would be. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess it's paid promotion then. So we've got 96, 32. No, that doesn't need to be there. That needs to... Whoa. Hello. That's what I say for mine. Okay. Maybe I should update the description on this to say it includes paid promotion. Oops. I never considered gifts as paid promotion. I can't pay the mortgage that it can't pay the mortgage with. It doesn't count in my opinion. It's two schools of thought. It all depends. It's toggle in YouTube Studio. Yeah. It is a toggle. But that's one that I should really find out sooner rather than later so that I don't get on the wrong side of any advertising standards boards. Well, it's printing nicely. It hasn't come off. So it was just me being silly by not having cleared the purge line. The thing about it is the company can make use of the video so it counts. It is an exchange. I was given this Prusa Mini because I said that I wanted to try turning it into a printer-lock printer. The condition that I had was that I do something like this with it. Tried to be funny while being concise. No, don't apologize. Don't apologize, Ace. It is a good point. It is a good point. Like, it's appreciated that you are raising the point. Silly flipping OBS, not... No, the company is making money, not the advertiser. They are not being paid for their promotion. Part of the page promotion, what sponsor is it? What I meant was YouTube considers free product as paid promotion while the sponsor is actually money. Oh. Oh. Well, that's one to... That, yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. So figure out what this gap is here. We need to figure out the size of this gap. Please be something sensible, like 8 mil. That'd be really cool. I'm going to make use of that new tool. 1, 2, 3, and then we do a bundle. Not a bundle. We do a intersect group. Nope. It's not it. That's not it. All right. I'll do it the old way. I'll do it the old way. Let's make that roughly the right size. 1, 2, 3, and group. Pop it out here. Ugh. That looks wrong on so many levels. Okay, that didn't work how I wanted it to. Ah. What even is this? You missed. I did miss. Oh, no, go away. Go away. Don't like you. Right. Drop you into there. And then the floor hotkey thing isn't great. Because sometimes it just doesn't want to. Right. Whole, solid. Group it together. No. Two, three. Group it together. There we are. How big of a piece are we left with? 6.41. 6.4. Okay. Right, what am I supposed to do with 6.4? Huh. Actually, so the rods are 297 long. I can do a 1.2 millimeter shift front and back. How can we make this 8? So we need to add 2.6 to get 8 millimeters. So 1.3 millimeters, a 1.3 millimeter shift front and back. One, 2, 3. Which, yes, that then leaves us with a hole here, a gap here, but on the original Prusa Mini, those holes are closed off, so you don't actually see the rods. We're fine. We're fine. We're cheesing it, and we're fine. 1, 2, 3, which then gives us, drop it there, drop it there, drop it there, and then drop it there. So those are now all in line with the faces. And if I group this, it should be basically what, 8 mil. Why not make everything multiples of Why not make it an even multiple of 16, then make an extension on the parts, holding it to bring it to spec? Oh, it's 9. It's 9. Huh. Let's just move that back. Because I'm trying to work out what you mean by that, Joe. Because I've left the rod holes, I've left the rod holders with holes in them, I've given myself inadvertently the flexibility to make the gap the right size. And I didn't realize that until just now. There, 8. Yes, it's 8.02, but it's 8. I'd call that problem solved. Well, you need to make that gap 16 millimeters instead of 8. But 8 is a half block. And you can put connectors on both sides of a half block. That's length 32, width 32, height of 8, radius 1, step 1. And where are my connectors on this project? My connectors are over here. Duplicate U. Yeah, it just looks silly having a little half block in the middle. It's an accent piece, and it doesn't necessarily need to be in the middle. And it'll make it hard to put support panels across it for strength. Yes, I agree with you on that. But that's assuming that we end up needing... that's assuming that we end up needing support panels across it, across the length. I'm thinking that we are going to get a reasonable amount of rigidity given to us from the... Oh, wrong way. We're going to get a reasonable amount of rigidity afforded to us from those rods. Or a decorative sponsor block. True. True. The thought is, though, I mean, yes, we've got 32 mil of... We've got 30-something millimeters of rod that is afforded to us, hidden in the rod holders. So we've got a reasonable amount of rod that's afforded to us there. But I'm concerned that if we increase this too much, we might end up having to customize the firmware, and I don't want to customize the firmware. I want to just take the stock Prusa firmware. Oh, man. Let's grab this over here. Problem is, I don't know how thick of... Wait a minute. Yes, we do. Well, that's where you can extend holders in the other directions to hold to better hold the rods. Yeah? Right. Let's do this. We know that this is roughly 12. Height 12. Shrink this down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plonk it in the middle of this piece. Tinkercad. Jeez. I'm going to make this a hole. And then we're going to group it together just momentarily. This leaves us with a block that is 10 mil tall. So there is 10 mil of insertion of rod overall. So the rods go into the front and rear plates for the Y by 10 mil, which makes it 297 to 277 millimeters of exposed rod. Now, where am I pulling the 277 from? I am pulling it from the spare parts for the Prusa Mini. Prusa Mini, Y rod spare parts. Well, 262. It's 262 for the extrusion. Do they sell the spare rods? Smooth rod, Y-axis, X-axis. Rod length 279, sorry. And how long did I make mine? $279. So that's 259 of exposed. Yeah. Okay. Do you know what, Joe? There is enough space. We can make it a standard 16. So let's do that. We need 4 forwards, 4 backwards, or just 8 forwards. One, two, three, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the 16 now. So I should be able to duplicate that and plonk. So that's 32. Does that count? Are we happy with that? Is that cheating? I don't think it's cheating. So that's given us that back, which should still leave us with 4x4, that's 128, 256. 256 millimeters in the middle, where it's 262 for the extrusion. We might still need that half block. Maybe. Because that gives us the full 262. We'll find out when it complains. Oops. And then that is a short block over there. Did I bring in a 1x2? Oh, I did, it's here. Duplicate. Drop you there. Drop you there. And then drop you there. And there we go. So that's a y-axis. That's a y-axis. Now it's figuring out the z. So I am going to group, export, hear me out, grouping it together and exporting it so then I can bring it into the other project as a single piece. And then ungroup you, and then import it as a single piece. Hopefully that was everything. So that way it's easier to get a feel as to how it looks when colliding with this one. Rather than building it piecemeal out of the pieces that we've got so far, and it should give us a better idea. Because I need to work out, well, we need to work out how far this comes out. And what better way than using the references that we've got. Doop-a-doop-a-doo, come on, import. Okay, that was quicker to paste it. Oh, now you turn up. Well, it's nice of you to join us. Speaking of nice, so far so good. That looks like a y-axis. But we come out a reasonable distance, it would seem. So I've got the width of the screen plus a bit. Oh, come on. How are we doing there? Right. Y rods. Let's align the Y rods and have a look. Okay. I'm hoping there's not going to be any interference there. And again with the carriage underneath, the Y carriage, or the belt holder I should say, I'm hoping there's not going to be any interference there. Still coming back into... I've got mine backwards. Am I really doing mine backwards? I've done it backwards. Whoops. We can fix that. Let me just... no. Mirror. That way. Yeah. Okay. We need to fix that. Goodness sake. Mirror. Actually, no, don't mirror you. Mirror you two. There. Now it's the right way round. This is the front. How do I keep getting that the wrong way round? Okay. So outside of that bit, Rod to rod. There we go. So that needs to come out a fair chunk more. That needs to come out to... more than 128? Really? So that's 5 blocks. That's 5 blocks that comes out. Sorry, 5 gigantic blocks. That's 10 blocks that comes out. Wow. That's a lot further than I thought. So, yeah, that's a lot further than I thought. That's crazy. Okay, we can work with that. Wow. All right. Let's do it this way then. So we get 5 blocks that it comes out. And then it goes up. So let's grab a 1x3. Shove it in the gap. Drop you there. Drop you there. No. Tinkercad. Okay. That feels daft. But then the Prusa Mini does do that. Wait. So it's 3 out. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Then up. 1, 2, 3, and then up. So then we are talking... we're talking a 1x4 again. There we go. So how tall are we? How tall are we? I should know this. We are 382. Put you... drop, and then... oops. Drop and then drop. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That puts us all the way to there. And then I can get the 1x4 again. Rotate you upright. And duplicate. And then crash, of course. Come on. No. Go away. Duplicate. Drop it. Huh, convenient. Convenient height. Very convenient height. So those rods go, do they go all the way down? Those rods go all the way down to the bottom. Those rods. Let me be a bit more specific. The Z rods go all the way down through the piece. So we've got plenty of rod to play with, that we can play with, I should say. So this means that we can quite easily borrow strength from the mechanical pieces of the printer. And we don't need to worry entirely about being exactly the right height. Although a 1x3 Giganta block would cover that gap. Let me just grab one from the other project. So let's do that. Get rid of this 1x4. Drop you to the top. Align it, and then align it. So that brings us to the cap and the Z-axis motor block. The endstone, capstone, whatever you want to call it. That brings us to the top of the piece, and then we get to design the Z-axis cap. Z-axis motor block and cap. Yeah. I like this. Now you may be wondering, that looks flimsy. Yeah, I agree. We would put panels on it. Decorative panels. Or structurally decorative panels. Because that's what I can do. That's all we can do. I say that's all we can do. We know the rules. No screw outside of hardware components, and no glues or 3D gloop. And speaking of rules, let's check how the Prusa Mini is doing. It looks fine. That looks perfectly fine. It's almost done the rod holder. So we're winning on that front. Yeah. It's doing all right. Doesn't appear to be skipping anything. So I think it's doing okay. I had no concerns with the stock Prusa Mini. So I'm just doing a filament change on the other one. Printing out tokens again. Right. So, how is everybody doing at the moment? Are we all happy with how things are looking like they are progressing? If I bring it back over to Tinkercad, and of course the window doesn't remember what it was. This one. We can block out the Z-axis like this. Block out. Wow. L 1x4 and a 1x3. L 1x4 and a 1x3. Nope. Nope. Sorry, I had to take some things. What did I miss? We have got a rough idea for the Z-axis. By which I mean, it looks roughly like this. Because this is what it looks like. We have an L, a 1x4, and a 1x3 that brings us up to roughly the right height, at which point we can then make a custom end cap motor holder block that holds the Z motor at the top. We can use panels to add that extra stickiness that we need without resorting to screws or glue. Screws, glue, or gloop for affixing it to the frame. Which then means we are at the point of getting the Z rods in the right place, which kind of conveniently look... No, they're not. That would have been really convenient. Would have been really, really convenient if they lined up with the Gigantoblock holes. The giant connector holes. That would have been really, really convenient. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So we are then... Yeah, we're at the point of we can now make a Z-axis, which, as you just said, that looks like a Z-axis. You're right. I get the weird double L type. We can borrow rigidity there and then find a way to steal strength from other parts, which would give us an electronics enclosure holder, an electronics holder, which I'm not really looking forward to making that. Whoops, wrong way. Drop you there. And then you should line up. Why aren't you lining up? Oh, because the half block. That's what you were warning me about earlier. Ugh, silly me. That is precisely what you warned me about with the use of half blocks. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have to put it on the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to pretend like that is exactly what I was talking about. It kind of is, kind of isn't. You were saying about using a half block as a shim in the middle of the frame. I've used half blocks as a reinforcement for these rod holders. As you can see, and it's nice because you can force them into... You can pivot a block. Let me demonstrate this. In some cases, you are able to pivot blocks into place to get that extra rigidity that you need out of a frame. Which means it's a bit jank, but at the same time, if it gets you the strength that you need, because you can't use a connector elsewhere, it's great. So let me just pull these extra connectors off that I don't need. So being able to... It's not going to do it. Essentially fold this over the top onto this connector here, while keeping this connector at the front. It's a jank reinforcement technique, that works most of the time, but it's not perfect. So let's see if I can demonstrate it. If I can, that'll be great. But it's not working for me right now. Oh, did we just blip? Yeah, we did. Ha! We had a blip. And I can't get this block into the right place. No. It just allows... It's a janky way of getting the reinforcement that you need. See if it'll work on this side one. No. Maybe this way? Either way, it's because I'm doing it at 200% scale. There. I broke the connector at the top, but point remains. You can. It's not great, but you can do it. Either way. Either way. So the point I was getting to there was, in doing that, we get to keep the half blocks that we're using at the front. We put two connectors down the base, two connectors at the top, and it gives us that little bit of reassurance that we need. Right, where was we? Where were we? Aligning these back up. That gives us our Z-axis. And then nope. Don't know what I've done wrong there. Doesn't seem to be lining up. What have I done there? What have I done? Oh well. We'll figure it out. So, oh, that's what I did wrong. No. Drop you there. And then drop you there. No. Drop you there. And then there. And then I can get a base block, which is somewhere over here. Duplicate. Put you in line with the rest of it. And that's roughly the electronics enclosure holder. It's really not. It's close. But that's our Z. Now it's a case of getting the rest of the Z, which is working out the spacing between those two rods. Do we have anything to reference for that? What do you have for us, Prusa? BOM Z-axis.markdown. Z mini plate bottom. Ooh. 40 mil. So this is the metal plate that we had to use. So that metal plate is the piece that joins the extrusion to the y-axis as a whole. Can we view it here? Can we see it? Yes, we can. It's this plate. It's this piece here. And that's telling us that it's 40 mil center to center on 8 mil rods. Okay, word soup. Let's get our 8 mil rods. No, click 8. And then 8. Oop. Focus. Duplicate. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40 center to center. And we know that they are 297 tall, or 279 tall. Was it 297 or 279? Original Prusa Nemo 11 polyback, smooth rod, 279. Did I just say 279? I did. And then, what else did it have? It had another hole that's 20 center to center for the lead screw. So duplicate 1, 2. That's the lead screw. Let's change its color. You heard 279? Well, correct. That's the screw. It looks like a screw. And then we had, where is it? This one. We don't worry about that because that's the, whatchamacallit, we don't need that. We just need this point of reference here, which is the 3 holes in the middle. And they are 10 mil holes. That's because we're passing it through into a block beneath. So let's just group you 3 together. No, I don't want a single color. I want multicolor. And center it on here. And then figure out where we're going to put it. This is the bit that is entirely ours at this point. But we do have to take into consideration the bearings, which they are LM8UU bearings. Is there documentation? Fasteners, no. Printed parts, no. Custom parts, no. Bill of materials, x-axis dot markdown. There we are. X-axis markdown gives us LM8UU. No, LM10UU. Oh, it's 10 mil rods for the Z, isn't it? Whoops. Right, you go back. And then you go back. And then we resize all of you to be 10 mil, not 8 mil. That would have been bad. But we can deal with it now. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Which makes me want to double check. Smooth rod Z-axis mini plus, which that is 341. That would have been really bad. So we need to make these taller too. 341. Oh yeah, because it goes up a bit. Actually, let's just drop them to the floor. Oh, no. Accidentally pressed the back button. Right. Drop you to the floor. Then move you up. 1, 2. Except I need to move you up all the way. Or it's a is that a 1x2 sort of size? I believe it's a 1x2 sort of size. Just about a 1x2. It's just about 1x2. So what I'm thinking is we can do a specific 1x2 that holds the rods. So we have a 1x2 coming out of the main Y base. So let's just illustrate that. Nope, wrong way. A 1x2. Come on, brain. A 1x2 that comes out of the base. Normal 1x2. And then we have the custom block that is the rod holder. We can retain the standard connector hole size, and then that allows us to have the 10mm rod holes plural. Yeah. I don't see any issues with that. Because it keeps the aesthetic and it keeps we keep the connector functionality on it. So let's just throw one of those together. We need it to be 32 by 64 by 32. Let's duplicate these rods. And let's go focus over here. But before we do, we need to shrink these rods down to be 30mm tall. Or should we go, let's go 30mm, which leaves us a 4mm hole in the base. Ah, that was silly. What I should have done would be to leave them in the... right. You there. You there. No. There. And then we center it. Drop it to the floor. Radius 1, steps 1. Group it now. Now we've got the holes in the right space, in the right placement. That looks amazing. This might actually happen. Thank you. I'm glad you've got confidence. I'm glad you've got confidence, Joe. This is ridiculous, honestly. Because this is pretty much my design process for every PrusABlok printer I've done so far. I have just gone, you know what? What do we need to do? What do we need to make? And it's just silly. It really is. And you can see how well Tinkercad works for this. Because I'm just making the basic shapes. I'm not doing, I say basic shapes. I'm not doing anything that I would consider to be too ridiculous. This is, I've taken the barrier to entry and I've just gone, no, go away. We're not doing that. And yeah, 4.88, so that needs to be 9.16 to be twice the size. Oh, you know what? You know what? I need to make a base block and double its size so that I get the connectors the right size. 16, 16, 16. Radius 1, step 1. Yeah, so this is why I like Tinkercad, because Tinkercad just, because you are just using primitives, not the primitives, you are just using simplified shapes, or you're using the stuff that makes sense. Like, I could work out how to precisely drag that to be twice the size. But no, I can just make a block and then double it. Ta-da! Yeah. So now I've got a GigantoBlock connector that fits precisely where I need it to. One, two, three, 1, 2. And then we can get rid of these two connectors, bring them back. It works. That's the thing. It works for what I need. It works for what I'm trying to do. Like, apart from when you get the random stuff where it's like, I'm going to grab something from over here too. I don't understand why. I've not interacted with you. So we just bring it over. We bring the base block, the rod holes to where we need them. Do we necessarily need the GigantoBlock connectors down the bottom? No. So we can actually get rid of those. Move you out of the way. Get rid of you, and drop you down. Let's just double check. We are 32 by 64 by 32. So that's group, hole, no. Holes all over, group, duplicate. Rotate. Then we align it. In the middle, at the edge, in the middle. So there's one. The only thing I don't like is the constant having to move stuff out of the way because it's trying to, it's grabbing the wrong thing that it's interacting with. That's the only thing I don't like about Tinkercad. Because the rest of the time it's fine. Duplicate group, rotate, and then we can bring that over here. quite easily. Edge, edge, center. No. Center. Align it center. And then we take the 4 normal size connectors, 3, 4, duplicate, group, and then shove it over here. And there we go. Then the final trick, select everything, but not the rods for some reason that it wants me to select every time. Turn it all into a hole, and then grab the main shape and turn it into a solid. And then group it together. And that is our rod holder. Back to the house, you went shopping with me. You could say, had to go to the market, as you would say. No, well, it depends. Did you go shopping to a bunch of stalls in, say, the centre of town, or did you go to a shop? Where did we go, Cragord? So, get rid of you, drop you down, and then we move you to the middle. Ta-da! And that's our rod holder. That makes complete sense. Now, does it have any fixings? Does it pinch the rods in any way, shape, or form? Whoop. We have updates. We have an update. It finished. It finished. Ooh. Now to find the right camera. Oop. There we go. It finished. And they pop off really nicely. Now to find an 8mm hole, an 8mm rod in my box of rods, and the right idler. But that's the first 2 pieces. You went to Brookshire Supermarket. Nice. So you went to the shops. You went to the shop. Didn't go to the market, you went to the shop. Do I have an 8mm rod? Squeaky chair. I know I've got one of those. I know I've got 8mm rod. The question is, where is it? That's the question. Because, you know, it's somewhere over here. Bunch of beds, bunch of extrusion. all the parts for a delta, the majority of the parts for a hypercube, and they're not in there. That's a bunch of extrusion. I don't know, folks. I don't know. I mean, I could just take a set of calipers and measure the hole. 8.2, 8. Yeah. Might be a bit tight. We can work around that. We can do percussive maintenance again. Yeah. Yeah. We're fine. We're fine. Okay, that's convenient. We're fine. We're fine. It'll be fine. I'm happy with that. You know, it's a start. Oh, for goodness sake. This is starting to get on my nerves. Let's put the Prusa Mini plate back. So that's now back in place. We've got something that's starting to resemble a Z-axis. So, if we think about this for a moment, these rods need to be up where? Because I don't remember how far up. How big did I make those holes? I made those 30, so that's 32. So these need to be up 1, 2, 32. There we go. Which means the end stone, end cap, whatever you want to call it, up here it needs to have some level of absorption, insertion of the rods. Let's make sure that I'm actually centered on the right thing. There we go. Right. So that's 20, 21, 22, 23. So that's 23. How much do we put? So we put 30 in at the base. We can put 30 in at the top. Well, 23 in at the top. So that's a 32. That's a standard size Gigantoblock, isn't it? That's a standard size Gigantoblock. So height 32. Width of what, 96? It looks like a 1x3. And length of 32, 24 with government work. Yeah. Steps 1, radius 1. No, length 32. Go away. Steps 1, radius 1. So that's a 1x3. It's a giant 1x3. And that looks like it would hold the rods. How? Ooh, oh, 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 oh. LM10U bearing. What is the size of an LM10UU? Outer diameter 19. We need to check that before we carry on too much further. U. 19. And then 19. Let's drop it up to here. Center it on this one. Good. Okay. I was a little bit worried, but we have space. We have plenty of space. Outer diameter 19, inner diameter 10, length of 55. Let's just make this 55 tall. There we go. And then for good measure, let's duplicate U and let's just turn U pink. And group them together. There's our bearings. We've got a reference piece for our bearings. Now we can keep those in mind. It's going to be this. So we're going to do the same trick again. We're going to duplicate the rods. And we're going to make a nice gap at the top. So we're just going to cut the hole out. We're just going to cut the hole out. And, oh, wait, we need... This is where we're also mounting the Z-axis motor, isn't it? Let's be sensible for a moment. Let's look at the build for the Z-axis once again. Okay. That's really not helpful. So what they've done is they've rotated it. Because they're constrained by the 20mm width of the extrusion. We're constrained mildly by the 32 width of the Gigantoblock. So if we bring in, let's look in the community shapes. Nima, Stepper motor. Let's use this as a reference. And let's rotate it 45 because that's what Prusa did. Let's keep the aesthetic. Doot, doot. Drop you there. Drop you there. So they aligned it in the middle. And that's what they did. Because that makes sense. It's a little bit cheesy. I mean, it looks like a Prusa Mini, kind of. Kind of. Maybe. I mean, you tell me. Am I losing the plot? Have I already lost the plot? Because, you know, why not? You never had it. Thank you. Thank you, Gregor. You're so kind. Oh. I mean, this is something, right? We're getting there. We're getting there. So how can we turn this? Another PrusABlok printer to build. Yes, Josh. You had the chance to build a Prusa Mini and you never built it. Also, hit the like if you like to see Doug go mad and lose his hair trying to rebuild the wheel. I'm not rebuilding the wheel. Although, you say that. You say rebuild the wheel. It's not that hard to rebuild the wheel. Right? It's not that hard. See, what you do is you get a cylinder, right? And you get... Do you get a cylinder? Do you use a cylinder? How was it? How did we do it? Oh, wait, yeah, cones. You need 2 cones. You flip them, right? You merge them together. You duplicate it. You make one of them like 2 mil bigger. Yeah. You align them center, center, center. Yeah. You turn the big one into a hole. You then make the cylinder big enough to hold both. You take both. You center, center, and then center. And then you group it. Then you shrink its height down to be whatever the height of the big one was. And then you take the big one that's the hole. You take the other one that's also not the hole, and then you group them together. And then you take the middle one, you make it the right height to be the size of the cylinder, which is what, 26. So you make that also be like 26. Oops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You drop that down. You then take the connector, you duplicate it, you flip it upside down, you turn them both into holes, and then you take one, and then you drop it at the top, you take the other one, you drop it at the bottom, and then you align it, and then boom, and then boom, and then you group it together, and that's your wheel. Except you make it actually fit. Let's just... No, hang on. Control Z, Control Z. You do the things. Drop, no. You do the things. You do the things. Move. Control ungroup. Right. You are actually 22 tall. You should also be 22 tall. Right. Center, center. And then you also should be 22 tall. 22. Boom. Right. Drop, group, group, align on this one, center, no, this one, center, and then drop you down. Right, let's try again. You take the hole, the outside 2, group them together, and then you take the rest of it, and you group it together. And there's your wheel. There you go. Maybe. There should be enough clearance there. Actually, let's just make it PrusABlok standard. 16. There you go. There you go, Cragod. Have a wheel. Have a wheel. In fact, You can have a wheel so much we'll print it now. In fact, we'll see how long it takes before I commit to doing that. Add a plate. Yeah, yeah. There you go. Meh. Oh, why did I just do that? I don't need to try and rebuild the wheel. I've just done it. I've just done it. Come at me. Come at me. Where is it? That one. Transition. There you go. 33 minutes. So we'll check back in half an hour if it prints, if it spins, if it prints and if it spins. There you go. So let's actually get back to what it was. I love you too. I love you too. Oh, you're so kind. So kind. Right. Let's make this motor holder. How are we going to do this? We need sufficient gap. Well, first off, I need to work out the spacing of those. Knobs is something you hold on to. You're keeping us alive. Oh. I don't understand that. At all. What is... I knew the spacing. Like, I did know the spacing. Oh, it's here. Here's the spacing. For the NEMA 17 screw holes. So I need this one. No. I need this one, and we group them together. Rotate 45 degrees. And then we bring it up here. Drop at the edge. Drop at the edge. And then lose them promptly. Wow, they're over there, really? Thing is, I need to get the exact spacing for getting this in the middle. Will this be ready for September? Good luck. I wish it were ready for September. That would be amazing if it could get to 3D Printopia. That would be hilarious, because then you'll be showing it off at 3D Printopia before I get to take it to Smurf. I want to take this to Smurf. Oops. I need that to be in the middle. And yes. Prusa. Maybe. Maybe. I'd say I would love to get this to 3D Printopia, if I could get to 3D Printopia. Wait a minute. I can use that as vent holes. Oop. What I mean by that is use it as vent holes. So then you don't get stuck with a vacuum of some description when you're trying to put the rods in, which is something that I didn't take into consideration for the rod block at the bottom. And then we need to make this slightly shorter because that's far too long at the moment. That was... Let's also do 30. No, don't do 30. Yes, 30. So we shove that into the base. Then we grab these screw holes. We make these 30 as well, for good measure. No, 32. And then we shove that there as well. So that gives us the rod holes. No, wait, the middle rod hole needs to be all the way through. So we need to go up, ungroup, keep them as holes. But this one needs to be all the way through, so that needs to be 32 to go all the way through. That needs to be... I feel like that needs to be shorter because it was actually 24. So yeah, let's keep... No. No, because it doesn't matter, because you're... What are we doing? We are... Let me explain my thought process. We need screw holes to affix the NEMA 17 to the motor block at the top of the ZN cap. I'm calling it a ZN cap. I don't actually know what it's called. Is it in the documentation? You're probably right. The Mini Z top. Mini Z top. Custom parts. Printed parts. Mini Z top. Mini Z top. STL. Mini Z top is this one. So they do have a recess. Oh, that's how they do it. That's how they've done it. Interesting. So they didn't bother. They didn't affix it through the screw holes that are on there. They stretched it the full width of the rotated motor block. So in that case, no, I'm going to stick to what I'm doing. By which I mean, we've got two slightly shorter rods. So 26, 26, which gives us still a lot of screw travel, isn't it? How long are the screws on the Z axis? M8s. M3 by 8. Are they really only M3 by 8? See, that's not something I've thought about yet. We're reusing the screws, but I've not thought about how long they are. But then we've got loads of screws everywhere. Like M3 by 12s, M3 by 20s that we can use. I'm guessing it's M3 by 8, which means that really it should still, I should leave that at 30. I should leave that at 30 because then it's still got plenty of length through the hole to allow for words to form and be said and be succinct and make sense. And they do relief cuts. So what are they? So they do bite. They do affix it. Huh. Oh, my mouse got stuck. And they pinch it onto there. So they bite it. They do fasten the rods in place. They don't just use hopes and dreams and friction. Is that what I'm doing wrong? Am I doing it wrong by using hopes and dreams and friction? I don't think I'm doing it wrong by using hopes and dreams and friction. I don't think I'm doing it wrong. Hey, Cragord. Hey, Cragord. Here's your wheel. Do you like your wheel? It's printing. I hope you like your wheel. Make jokes at me about reinventing the wheel. Of course I'm going to reinvent the wheel. It's what I do. It's what I'm good at. Who needs wheels when you can have wheels? Reinvent the square next. I mean, I could reinvent the square. I mean, you saw me do that earlier. Oh, wow. Look at that. Tinkercad's not visible. Again. Oh, where is it? This one. And then this. No. Yes. That one. You saw me reinvent the square earlier. I just realized I named this stream Why Do This because, you know, I thought I'd be doing the y-axis a bit more. No. I should have called it Catching Some Z's because we've done the z-axis. Or we've done most of the z-axis already, which is terrifying. Like, really terrifying. Yes, we've got the carriage to redo. To do, I should say. Although I'm still tempted to just to leave the stock carriage. Or heavily cheat with the stock carriage. I don't know, I'm looking down at the floor because I've got... My mind is still screaming, why? So is mine. So is mine. Yeah. So what size is... Where's a NEMA 17 drawing when you need one? Here. Here's a NEMA 17 drawing. So what size is the dimensions? Pilot hole, shaft diameter, motor length, whatever. That's the AI overview. I want to know how big the face dent is. Doug, your mind is screaming pretty much. What is the emboss? Deboss? Emboss. What is that emboss called? It's a 2mm thing, but how big is it? Because it's not, I don't see where it's illustrated. What is that emboss called? 22mm by 2mm. Okay, that works. Make you 23 because 22.2, and then make you 22.2, and then make you 2.2, and then knock you down one. And then we align you with the middle of this thing. Boop, boop, hole. Have I inadvertently grabbed anything else? No! Boom. There you go. That makes sense, right? Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. So let's plonk it down here. Plonk. Let's move you down, give or take. So there we go. That's the motor with the shaft. It gets fastened here. So that, I mean, maybe 2mm isn't enough. Why does the motor have to be turned that way? It doesn't. It does not have to be turned that way at all. We can keep it central, but yeah, that's how Prusa did it for the screw holes. Except they didn't do that for the screw holes at all. What Prusa did was make a plate and then just ignore. They did the screw holes the other way, but I'm making use of the extra depth of the rod holes to then use it for the screw holes. Because that's what I thought they did. And I was wrong. But now it works for what we're doing. It makes sense, right? Yeah, that makes sense. And then we just shove connector holes all over it. Problem solved. I mean, sure, why not? Sure, why not? Z carriage. Sorry, not the Z carriage, the X carriage. I say I'm not looking forward to. So that's, whoops, no, This one. We still need to do the electronics box. We still need to do the electronic. I keep trying to drag this, thinking it's the 3D model. Let's go to the stock one. Right. We still need to do the electronics box. That's the third time I've said it. Maybe I'll start doing it soon. So that means I need to find a 3D model of the buddy board so that I can nab the screw hole and other connector spacings. And then there's that. Oh, the power switch. This I think I'm not going to try and construct. Let me explain. I don't think I'm going to make the box out of individual panels. I think I'm going to do generic make a cutout type deal because that seems the easiest thing to do. It might be lame, however, we can still do all of the grittiness on it. And it's not like storage blocks don't exist, or chests. It's not like they don't exist. Because they do. Printer block storage. Stackable printer block storage boxes. It's not, it's called PrusABlok, isn't it? Sorter block, sorry. Where they're bins. So it's not like I can't make references to other types of storage. I can't. It's not like I can't reuse a PrusABlok to store the main board of the printer. That style, because it'll have all the connector holes on the side, which then clips it to the y-axis and the lead out for the Z. And then we've got the joys of making the display holder, which should be all right. I'm kind of tempted to print this as is. The problem is I don't have a second set of hardware. I don't have a second Prusa Mini kit. And I don't want to use the Prusament yet to build this. I would rather just use the generic filaments that I've got. I say generic, the Sunlu filaments that I've got, and the 3D Jake filament. I'd rather just use that for the prototyping stage before going to the whole using Prusament. I say this as we've printed Cragward's wheel. It's your fault, Cragward. We made a wheel. So you lot, tell me. It would make sense to get a proper lay of scale by actually printing it as is. Conflicted. I am conflicted. Why am I conflicted? Why is the window capture not window capturing again? Oh, for goodness sake. It's this one. You want to use the cheap filament and keep the good stuff for the other project. I have a limited supply of Prusa, but I have a large assortment of Sunlu filament. And it's not like these blocks can't go into the stem pile for Smurf 27. Or at least the main frame, the Gigant block, they can go into the stem pile for Smurf 27. Which, yes. Right. While Kragord's wheel is finishing, we need to work out what the plan is for Tuesday. Because, yes, Z-Ax, X carriage. That's fine. No, bill of materials. No, come on. BOM, BOM, bill of materials, X-axis. We need to print, or should I say tweak, the Z carriage, mini Z carriage front and rear. So 2077 Core 1 PrusABlok. I mean, I don't see why not. I don't see why we couldn't do a Core 1 PrusABlok. But equally, what about an XL? What about a PrusABlok XL? We've got the PrusABlok Mini. Why not the PrusABlok XL? With all the tool changes. With my lights turning off. Because it's now midnight. Oh, I need to turn that off for a Thursday. Yes. Why shouldn't we go for a 5-axis, a 5-tool PrusABlok XL? Nah, I'm feeling it too. I could use, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. Core 1 with index. I think that would be hilarious. I think that would be hilarious. It would be brilliant. I think we need to focus on the stuff that we can actually achieve for the time being. Let's be optimistically cautious. Let's get the PrusABlok Mini finished. Get it printed. Get it printing. All right, and then we finish parodying everything else about it. We finish parodying the build guide. We get the temptation to fork the entire GitHub repo as well. But that's adding more work that I don't need to, that just doesn't need to be done right now. We need to mini Z carriage front and rear. The actual hot end assembly is fine. That's fine. Do we agree? Do we agree? And then it's the X carriage end. So let's download those. Go away you, go away you, go away you, go away you, go away you. STL. Mini X carriage end. Download. Yes. And then we get Mini Z front, Z carriage front, Z carriage rear. Download you and download you. Right. You can go over there, 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 you can go over there. Right. I need to duplicate you and bring you over here, along with the other blocks that we know are good. You can go over there. Oh, wait. We need to finish this. We need to finish this one. Drop focus. Focus. We need to take you. Duplicate. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Group. Duplicate. Center, and then duplicate. Flippity flip. Nope. Where did you go? Oh, it duplicated the whole thing. Flippity flip. Then over here, and then up top. Ungroup. Ungroup. Focus on the centerpiece, the center GigantoBlock hole. Move you there. Right. We can pretty much get rid of all of those. Yep, because none of those are usable. Although, having said that, we grab it here, and then we rotate 90. Group it, and then make sure that it's, yeah, centered. Nice. Duplicate, rotate 90. Get rid of these two here, because it's not usable. Get rid of that GigantoBlock connector there, and that GigantoBlock connector there, because it's not usable. And neither are those. So the ones that are below aren't usable, but the ones up top, no, they're not. Never mind. But these ones, not so much. Maybe. Maybe. Get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you. Because the NEMA is sat up top, so we can't make use of it. But what we can do is take this set of connector holes, oh, it grabs the bottom too. Oops. We can duplicate, rotate, and then shove to the end, and duplicate. Find the rotation point, which is hiding. Duplicate. Where's the rotate? Nope. Nope. I can't see it. Rotate. Bring it to the end. No, bring it to the end. And then you get aligned on this giant connector. There we go. And then try and grab these connector holes here without the block itself. Move you, oh, whoops. I'm good at this, honest. These. Group it, align it in the middle, and then bring you back. And that is, in theory, the Z-axis end cap. Once it all merges together. Which it doesn't look like it is. Let's try again. Might take a second because there's now so many individual so many individual connectors that are now on this project that it is now starting to slow down the whole project. Hey, Cragord. Hey, Cragord. Time for some German chocolate cake. Do you know what else it's time for? It's time for your wheel. It's a very loose wheel, but it's time for your wheel. Here's your wheel. It's loose, but it rolls. 2 mil of clearance was a bit much. But there you go. There you go. Are you happy now? As the camera refuses to focus. Have a wheel. Wow, that camera really does not want to focus on the orange. Also, the orange looks yellow. That's ridiculous. On the topic of ridiculous, this still has not, for goodness sake, still has not merged together. That's interesting. There we go. One grouped together monstrosity. So I've got the NEMA holes, the rod holes. So let's drag it up top. Get rid of the placeholder that we had. Oh wait, let's just do it this way. Let's align it up top. One of those, one of those. Please tell me that is not an idler. It can be an idler. It can be. Just for you, Herzl. Just for you. It's the idler. Oh, we could have left some connector holes there. Huh. Might do that. Let's just bring these back up. So let's grab these ones from all the way down here. Oops. Do you want it to be an idler? Because we can do. One, two, three. 1, 2, mirror. One, two, three, 1, 2. Okay. So we get to keep these ones. And only these ones. Bye-bye. 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 Doot, 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 doot. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that makes it again, it doesn't make sense to put the connectors on the base because they're of no use on the base. So let's merge those on. Drag it up here for a moment to ungroup it and then regroup it. So now that they're all merged in at the same point. There we go. And then drop it back down there. So that is the Z top block. So get rid of you down there. And then drag it over here to the rest of the parts. Drag it over there. There we go. That's silly. But that's productive. I think we've been productive. I think this has been successful. So in that case, should we call it here for today? What do we think? Do we stop while we're ahead so that we don't start making silly mistakes? Or do we go for just a little bit longer and make some silly mistakes? As we see if we can even import the... Yes, we can. Ooh, we can import the mini... We can import the Z carriage pieces. I thought they might have been a bit too big. But no, it's letting us. It's letting us. That's fun. $24 by 47 by 28. Okay, well that's 32 by 32 by 48. And that's the answer to that question. 32 by 32 by 48. That's a 2x3, if I've ever seen one. Oh boy. Yeah. So we're going to let the two pieces of the Z carriage and the X idler in port. So I think these are what we are going to tackle next stream on Tuesday. These should be, I'm going to jinx it. These should be relatively okay. Especially this one. These should be relatively okay to handle. We shall see how it goes. But on that note, if you have enjoyed this nonsense, please do let me know, because it's useful to know what you all think of this. If you have somebody that you want to torture by sending them somebody playing around with Tinkercad for 3 hours, by all means, share this with them, because, hey, it'll be funny to torture them. And pretty much that's it. We have made an interesting level of progress, because that's the y-axis, I would say, done. That's the physical, I don't need to save my work. That is because it's auto-saved. Unless Tinkercad's down on Tuesday, at which point we're going to have problems. That's the z-axis blocked out. We are now at the carriage for the Z and X for Tuesday's stream, which then leaves the electronics side for next Thursday if we get as far as we think we're going to get. Next stream, will the police stop this heinous conversation? Heinous conversion. It is a heinous conversation too, to be fair. Next stream, will the police stop this heinous conversion? How can the Zerods take the punishment? This and more mutilations next Tuesday. Stay tuned and be ready to dug and cover. If I get the right voice. Will the police stop this heinous conversion? How can the Zerods take the punishment? This and more mutilations next Tuesday. Stay tuned and be ready to dug and cover. I like the voices. The voices. Doing the voices, not the voices. The voice doing voices is fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Do you know what else I enjoy? I enjoy your company. You're keeping me insane. It's good. It's fun. In theory. You know, this is great. I enjoy the fact that you are wasting your time with me. But that's a problem for Tuesday. Usual time of 1 p.m. British Summer Time, 2 p.m. Central European Standard Time, which is 8 a.m. in East Coast, which is 7 a.m. if you're in Texas area, or 6 o'clock-ish if you're in Mountain, which is absolutely ridiculous because, hey, it's a breakfast stream for you guys. It's the lunchtime stream for us. It's also, you know, as I say, we're going to tackle the X carriage because that's what makes sense. Yes. Yes. If you've enjoyed this, hit a like button. If you've hated this, hit the like button. If you want to torture people, give them the subscribe button. If you want to buy things from 3D Jake and give some commission to me, you can do that. There's a link in the description. There's also a Ko-fi if you want to buy me Ko-fi instead of this. Because coffee is nice. I like coffee. I like coffee a lot. Probably a little bit too much. Because coffee's delicious. Coffee's good. I like coffee. Coffee's tasty. Coffee. Coffee. I need coffee. Should I make coffee? Coffee? Coffee. Coffee. Coffee is a good idea. Coffee's a good idea. Coffee. Bye! Coffee. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Coffee, coffee. Coffee. Lots of coffee. We need coffee. Coffee's good. Coffee's good. Coffee's delicious.